We're on day 6 of our road trip. Has been extremely amazing, almost life-changing for our family. I'm a travel and food blogger. My site is NYCityMama.com, and it's a catalog of mine and my family's adventures in and out of New York City. I love traveling with my family. I started out like pretty much any other parent, thinking about that trip and thinking about putting everything together and the packing, and a little horrified. I felt that what a great opportunity to have 3 kids, to be able to inspire other parents to go out there and do it. It's kind of like jumping in the pool when the water's cold and just, you can't think about it, you can't plan it too much, you just have to do it. And once you do it, you know, the water gets warmer and it's a lot of fun. The most memorable trip for us was a road trip here across the States, and it came about because my husband had a 20th year high school reunion in Missoula, Montana. And we initially thought about flying out there, but then we realized how expensive it would be with a family of 5. So then we decided to road trip it. And at first, everybody we knew, including ourselves, we knew that it was a crazy idea. The kids were little. I remember just almost crying the night before. The hardest part of this trip, I have to say, was probably the first 3 or 4 hours into it.
Not being loud.
It wasn't something that we were used to as parents. It wasn't something that the kids were used to, just being in the car. But something just broke and we actually got into a routine. The more places we visited, the more things we saw. And, you know, the reaction that we got from our kids every time we saw something new just really got us really excited. One of the most unexpected things that happened would be in New Orleans, just because when people talk about New Orleans, they never really talk about it as being a family-friendly destination. It's a place for Mardi Gras and lots of fun. I came to find that it's actually really a family-friendly place. They have the most beautiful zoo there and great museums. Of course, the food is great. The whole destination of the French Quarters is extremely family-friendly. So it was an unexpected surprise, and one that I, you know, would love to repeat again. So Yellowstone is one of the examples of what happens when you don't plan for a trip. We didn't realize that if you came in through the West Coast and planning on camping on the East Gate, which is what we had planned, it's going to take you about 2-3 hours. Yellowstone is massive, and it led us to our campsite in the middle of the night. And so we had to set up our tent with a flashlight. We had a wonderful 2-bedroom tent, but it was a nightmare, especially when the rain started to come and it filled up our tent. That led us into the car. So we spent our first night at Yellowstone in the car. But you know what, it was an incredible experience. And the next day we went out and we ventured. We saw so much wildlife. We went hiking. They have beautiful waterfalls. Yellowstone was definitely a memorable spot. By the time we got to Montana, we were a different family. We just were closer, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful experience that inspired many more trips since then. For a family of 5, a 2-week road trip was about $4,000. We spent between $70 to $100 on hotel when we weren't staying with family or friends. And in restaurants, we saved a lot more by eating locally, and that was about $60 per family per meal. For more information on my road trip with my family, check out my Wanderlist on WanderflyTV. And for tips on traveling with your family and other information with or without them, check out my site, NYCityMama.com.